Richard will be back next week. This time we have a special guest. We're talking about someone called Joseph. Are you ready? Let's say a prayer. From the top of my head to the tips of my toes, from the lobes of my ears to the end of my nose, from my back, my front, to my wiggly fingers. God loves me! Whoopee! Let's go to the story chair! Woo! Oh, there was a caravan in our story today, but we don't need a story caravan, we need a story chair. Let's go.
Okay.
Ooh! A good shot. They saw cow meat. Cows mentioned in our story today. Ooh, it's for sale though. We might as well. We should go to the story chair. Let's go.
On here. Oh, I've turned into Richard. Oh, well. Great to find the story chair. Well, we need to, even though it's holidays, I'm sure Grover is not on holidays. He's going to be with us. So, holidays are a bit of lazy time. So let's do a lazy Grover. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Grover! Oh, hello. Who are you?
Randy.
Hello, Randy. Good to see you.
What's this?
What's this? This is Southside time for kids. We talk about our Bible reading for this week.
Hi, I'm Randy.
Okay, Randy, back we come. Okay. Do you want to hear our Bible story for this week?
What's the Bible?
The Bible, it's this book that tells us about God and how God loves us.
Who's God?
God is the one who created everything. How about we have our story? We're going to hear about Joseph, okay?
Who's he?
Well, you sit and listen and we're going to hear, let's hear our story. Okay, so we're going to have our story with godly play. Randy, this is going to help us to understand the story of Joseph, okay?
Is it?
Yep. Are you ready for a story?
Maybe.
Maybe? Oh, let's hope you're ready. I hope everyone else is ready for a story. The great family grew. And Jacob had 12 children, 12 sons. Joseph was his favourite, and so he gave him a special long sleeve coat with lots of colours. One day, Joseph had a dream. In the dream, he and his brothers were out gathering wheat, and then suddenly his bundle rose up and all the other bundles of wheat bowed down to him, his. He told his brothers that his brothers hated him more. They thought, is he going to rule over us? And then Joseph had another dream. And in that dream, the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowed down to him. He told his father Jacob and his brothers. They were not enthused. They thought, not only do you think you're going to rule over us, but you're going to rule over your father and your mother. And so one day, Jacob sent Joseph out to go and see his brothers who were out looking after their cattle. And when the brothers saw Joseph coming, they decided that they were going to kill him. But Reuben, one of the brothers, convinced them not to do that. And so when Joseph got there, they took off his coat and they put him in a pit. After a while, some traders came along and the brothers sold Joseph for 20 pieces of silver. And he was taken away in a caravan. And then the brothers took Joseph's special coat and they dipped it in some goat's blood. And they went and told Jacob that Joseph had been killed. Well, Joseph was taken to Egypt. And in Egypt, he was bought by Potiphar, one of the captains of Pharaoh's guards. And Potiphar's wife had Joseph put in jail. But even in jail, Joseph was close to God and God was close to him. And there came a time when some of the officials of Pharaoh were in jail, and they had some dreams, and Joseph was able to explain what they meant. And then, when they were freed, they discovered that Pharaoh had had some dreams and no one had been able to explain them. And one of them remembered Joseph. And so Joseph came out and he was told the dreams. There were 2 dreams. In one dream, there were 7 fat cows and 7 thin cows. And the fat cows ate up the thin cows. The thin cows ate up the fat cows. Is that not what I said? The thin cows ate the fat cows. In the other dream, there were 7 big heads of grain, and there were 7 thin ones. And the 7 thin ones ate up the big ones. And Joseph was able to say to Pharaoh that this is telling us that there are going to be 7 good years with lots of food, and then there's going to be 7 years of drought, and there won't be much grown at all. And that maybe you should gather up food now, so that in the hard years there'll be food for everyone. And the Pharaoh thought that was so good an idea that he put Joseph in charge. And so there was a lack of food not just in Egypt, but in other areas around them. And people came to ask Joseph for food. And 10 of his brothers came down. And he gave them grain, but he kept one of them behind. The others went home. And then all of the brothers came down. And it was then that Joseph revealed himself to them. They hadn't recognised him. He revealed who he was. And he said, I have been sent to preserve our family. And they settled as a family, including Jacob, down in Egypt. And when Jacob died, Joseph took his body back up to the land God had promised. And then they returned to Egypt and they settled there. And later his children and descendants became slaves when Pharaoh died and the new Pharaoh forgot what they had done. I wonder, what's your favourite part of this story? Wondering what your favourite part is. Wondering what your favourite part is, Randy.
My favourite part is when they show blood all over the coat to make them think he's dead.
That was a bit of a mean trick, wasn't it?
I like mean tricks.
You like mean tricks? Okay. Wonder what your favourite part of the story is. I wonder what part of the story is most important.
The part where he tells about the famine.
Oh, part where he tells about the famine and explains the dreams, because that's going to keep people alive.
Yeah, and I also have a question.
Oh, maybe questions later, okay, Randy? Oh, okay, what's your question?
Which one of the figures is Joseph?
I don't know. You can work out whichever figure you think might be Joseph.
I think it's the one with the walking stick.
You think this might be Joseph? That could be Joseph, yeah. I wonder which part of this story is about you, or where you might feel you are in the story.
The part about the thin cows eating fat cows, I can eat quite a lot.
Oh, you like to eat, so you might be down here in the food thing. Wonder where you might be in the story. I wonder if there's anything we could leave out and still have all the story we need. Oh, leave out Egypt?
Yeah.
Don't you think he needs to go to Egypt?
No, he could have gone anywhere, like Peru or Australia or Afghanistan.
So maybe he could have found food somewhere else, but Egypt was an important place for food. That's an interesting story. Let's go back and explore more. So there you go, Randy. There's the story of Joseph.
I have some questions.
Yeah? What's your questions, Randy?
Why was the coat so... Why did his father die? Was it because he had to listen to you for 3 hours?
No, he was just got old. Jacob was very old when he died.
Are you sure it wasn't because he
Yes, okay. We're not going to be rude, Randy, okay? So he died. But, you know what? Joseph went through some difficult times, didn't he?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he went through some tough times, but do you know what he said to his brothers at the end?
Hi.
No, he said, you meant this because you were being mean, but God has been in control and God wanted good things to happen. So sometimes in life we have tough things that happen, but God is in control and he helps it to make it better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but why did they want to kill him?
They were just jealous. They thought he's the favourite and we don't like him being the favourite.
Yeah, and wherever he brought that god to play from, you're going to have to tell them to make a better rainbow coat.
Yeah, it wasn't a very colourful coat in that one, but that's all right. So we can remember that God is always looking after us. And even when times seem tough, Randy, God loves us and God will help us through. And we'll be able to look back and say, oh, God was there. Is that pretty cool?
Yeah, we went to a craft.
We can do a craft. I think Ollie's got a craft for us. Let's go and find out.
Hi guys. So I'm going to teach you how to make a friendship bracelet. You start with about 7 colours and it will look like this depending on what colours you choose at the end. So first you thread all your colours through the hole. And after you thread all your colours through the hole, get those all through, I've shoved through way too far. You tie a knot. My assistant is going to tie the knot for me. And this one took me about 2 hours. I have made a longer one, which was about that long. That took me 3 hours to make. Oh no, that one, maybe 2.5. Did the first one take me 2.5 hours or 3 hours to make? Started at 5. No, it took me about 3 to 4 hours to make the first one, but this one was simple, it only took me 2 hours. So next, you just grab the colours. I'm a little tangled. And then you just shove them in whatever hole. You just shove them into the holes. Like this.
We'll put a link to the loom on the YouTube instructions.
Yeah. Or you can just make your own.
Well, we'll put the template on so people can make their own.
Yeah. But make sure you leave one space. So then you count 3 up to the right. Your left, hang on.
Yes.
Your left, my right, and then you pull this one down to there. And I will just keep going and I will show you the finished project at the end.
Well, we don't have a finished product, but you can go home and make those and they'll be nice and colourful, hey?
Yeah, and if you pick, and it'll look something like this.
Excellent. We'll see you next week on Southside. Bye, everyone.
Bye.